Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to continue the topic which I've initiated as part of my previous video about active listening. What exactly is the active listening and why it is important for any learners. If you have missed that video, please do check it out. I have provided the link in the description below. So in the last video we have seen what is active listening and why it is important for us. And today we will see how to become an active listener. Let's get into my mind map. To become an active listener, I'm going to provide you an 8-step blueprint. These are the 8-step blueprints which I have provided below. So let's see what are those. So the first step is get into the curiosity mode. I have provided a video why curiosity is very important for someone who is learning. So to get more information about the curiosity and why it is required, you can check out my videos which I have prepared about the curiosity and its role. The link is provided in the description below. So first and foremost thing is you have to get into the curiosity mode. So once you get into the curiosity mode, the second thing is define your purpose of listening. Okay, so like when you're listening something, define your purpose clearly, like why you're listening this. If you define some purpose relating to yourself, you will do the activity as if you want to explore for your own reason. You won't do the activity because someone is asking you to do. So usually even when subjects also when you're learning some subjects also, if you're learning for the reason that you want to learn something out of it, definitely you'll put your attention in different way. You put your purpose into it. But if you're learning something just for the sake of passing the exam or because your lecturer or teacher has asked you to do so, definitely do it in a manual mode, mechanical mode. He asked me to write down this one, I'm writing it down. But if you think that, okay, what it is, why is he doing, what is his purpose, will this can be helpful for me too? If you put the purpose to your personal reason, definitely you will put your own mind. Definitely you will see something for your gain. So when you put yourself into the purpose, you will listen for your own requirement, not because someone else is asking you to do so. So definitely, so define your purpose of listening. So you relate it with something of your personal. You're saying that okay, you are learning this, so you're learning something which could be useful for you. Think in that mode, and when you define in that mode, you'll become much more active, and you'll feel that you're doing it for yourself, not for others' sake. So when you're doing something for yourself, you definitely pay more attention, right? And the third one, interpret the meaning and verify. When someone is telling you in the lecture, they are saying, okay, so what happens is when you're listening something to someone, if they say a word, you interpret something, okay, with this word, which you really don't know the meaning, okay? Usually whatever people will say, they'll simply ask, so what is this meaning? Before asking, what you should do is you interpret yourself first. You're putting some effort to your brain, whether you are able to find it out, and then you are asking them. So what happens is when they tell you the information, you have two things: whether it is you found your interpretation was found correct, or you learn that okay, yeah, this is what you thought for. But keep this practice. If you put that practice, your brain will recognize because your brain has done some activity to some effort to know something about it. So it will give you a good memory because you have kept some effort rather than asking someone. And the fourth step is draft first, then listen. One more thing, when someone is telling you, when you're listening to someone, what I really advise is whenever you listen to the key terminology, right, write it down first. When they are dictating or telling you something, first of all, write it down. What are the key terminology? Let us suppose there is a title of the lesson which the teacher or someone is explaining. Write down the title. Then he might be getting into an introduction. Put an introduction. And the introduction, just a noun or verb. Don't write down entire thing because when someone is telling you something, you cannot write down the complete sentence. We used to have a shorthand to write down whatever someone is saying. But here you need not learn a shorthand. But what I'm saying is you can use your own shorthand. Just write down the nouns and verbs. When he's telling you something about some introduction, put on the nouns, put on the verbs, just write down them. Okay, list it down. So maybe introduction is done. He would have told about something, his name, date of birth, a century, something like that. If it's a art class, write it down. So then he would be telling about location or something, about the kingdom or something. Just put all those subheadings and put all the important points. Do not write precisely what exactly he's saying, sentence by sentence. No, just put out that, highlight those points. So whenever he's saying something, draft it first and then listen. So subheading, listen, okay, what he's saying. And during the listening, if it's some key terminology, you're getting some key terminology which you don't know, write it down, interpret, and if it's, then you can ask him. After interpreting, you have some idea about this could be the meaning of the word, and then you're asking, okay? So always draft first and then listen. The step 5, ignore the myth, attack the new. This especially when you're listening something, as I told you, like draft first and listen, right? So there is a possibility that when you're writing down, when you're taking the points, there's a possibility that something is missed out in the flow. Maybe one of the subheading, under the subheading, you might be noting about something, some noun or verb about that particular subtopic you will be writing down, and you would have missed some word which he continued further. So instead of trying to fix that missing word, what you usually do is something in the talk, your usual intention is, okay, what I missed, you'll be asking your people or your friends sitting behind you, right? What I advise is, if you missed it out, forget it, get into next point. So at the end of the class, the point which you have missed would be 1 or 2 points. You can go and ask the lecturer again. But if you start exploring the other words at the very same time, there's a very high possibility that you will be missing much more information. So when you miss it, forget it, get into the next level, get into the next word, continue the phase. Don't interrupt your flow. Okay? So ignore the myth, attack the new. Once the listening process is done, because you have drafted down what all the keywords, okay, then try to relate them and draft your understanding. So based on the points or keywords, whatever taken, whatever you have in the memory, draft it down. Then you form the sentences on your own, because you have taken the key points. So headline you have it taken, the subheading, under subheading you would have noted some key points. So based on the key points, create the paragraph saying that what is this, what in case he's saying about something, you would have taken the noun, okay, he is telling about so person, and as a verb, he was born on so day in the so place, these are all known, okay, and the verbs, he is a person whose profession is something like that. So based on the keywords what you have taken, try to draft your understanding your own. Don't say don't keep it or don't take it from someone, okay, try to put it on your own, draft it on your own. So once you did the drafting, next you need to do is confirm your understanding. Is you can approach your lecturer or teacher, anybody, and you can say that this is what I understood, am I right or wrong? So because it's a draft version, he would have corrected you, no, this is not it is, take it in this manner, or no, based on the corrections, okay, or when you confirm the understanding, there's one thing is he would say that either correction, or he'll say yes, it is correct. So accordingly you correct your draft. Once the draft is correct, when your understanding correct, then you record your understanding. That means when you have understood what exactly the topic is about, and you have taken down what are you supposed to take, you take a confirmation that your understanding is correct, then you record it. That means either you can personally record for yourself, either by writing down properly in your notes, or else my good trick would be to explain your understanding to someone else. Teach it to someone else, maybe your friend or your siblings, anybody, or to your parents also. Like, this is what you learn. This is a very good idea. When you learn something, you can explain whatever you have learned to someone else, maybe your parents, your friends, your siblings, anybody. So this process of teaching someone whatever you have learned will give you a good memory as well, because you are teaching someone. When you're teaching, you think all these things again and these things, and you are producing or telling someone. So when you're doing this activity, this kind of learning, because you have in the curious mode, and you have the purpose and all those things, you will only focus on one particular task. Because you are doing something in this manner, what happens is your brain is continuously occupied with only this particular task. When it is occupied with this particular task, only one task, there is no place for the diversion, right? So this is how you can become an active listener, which is very much useful for learning. I hope you like this video. Please do like button, click the like button if you like this video, and do subscribe for my channel if you need much more information like this. So that's all for today. Till the next time, bye bye.